As a low-end sports card seller, one of the biggest things is to make sure that you are spending your money wisely, that you are selling when the time is right, that you're making a profit. So what I'm going to be going over is my profits and kind of like my outlook for the future and how I'm feeling about operating as a first-time business owner. So I only sell sports cards at the current moment. In the future, I'll probably end up getting a job and all of that also, and then doing sports cards on the side until I can fathomably think and see myself just selling sports cards. Probably just want to build a bigger and bigger bankroll, and then also, be able to afford, basic needs and all that. But let's just get into it. So I already went over my first, it was the first 6 months, so the first half of the 2024 financial year, fiscal year they call it, and that was until the end of June. So you guys haven't heard any of the full numbers that I've made or spent since the end of June, since the last day of June. So all of these numbers are going to be for quarter 3, and that will be July to September. So July 1st to September, I think it would be like 30th or 31st or whatever the day is there on the end of September. All of the numbers that I'm talking about are for that, and this is a very important quarter because it leads into the fourth quarter, which is the most important. It kind of, lets you know if you're doing well, if you need to change anything, all that, if you're in the right process that you need to be doing. So let's start off with expenses. So obviously I'm showing off some of my inventory here that I still have left over, and you have to acquire this inventory. It doesn't just pop out of nowhere. You have to actually buy it and sell it to earn money. So inventory expenses. I went to 3 different card shows this year, or this quarter time period we are talking about today. The first one being the Fairfield card show. You guys saw some videos from that. For inventory wise, just inventory, not talking about food and miscellaneous expenses regarding the trip to the Fairfield card show, I had spent $3,172, and that is just on inventory, some of it which you are seeing in this video that I'm just showing off, and some of it I already sold. But yeah, some of it you're not going to see in this video also. But so I went to the Sacramento card show. That's a 1-day card show, and that's like the longest reigning Sacramento card show. I didn't go to it twice. I could have, but I only went to it once, and that card show I spent $675 on inventory. And then there was a local card show, the first within 100 miles of my area in about 25 years. So that's a longer time period than me, which is pretty wild to think about. It's also one of the reasons why I probably didn't get into sports cards longer ago, which is really cool to see for the sports card community. Hopefully more and more towns will end up doing that more and more often. But I spent $429 at that card show there. That was my first time setting up even at a card show. And yeah, so that totaling out to be at card shows I spent on inventory $4,276. I also spent online deals, so mainly being from Ryan's Cards LLC Discord server. There's a link down below if you'd like to join. It's very, very worth it. As you can see, I spent a good portion of my budget online there. It was $2,553, so quite a bit of money spent online to acquire some of this inventory. This one I got from Fairfield. And this one I got from the first day Sacramento, or 1 day Sacramento card show. And then there is trade nights. So I spent $298 at trade nights hosted by H&B in particular. It's the local card shop out here. And then for the for direct local card shop deals at H&B, I spent $311.66. Technically, I just remembered I spent about, I want to say $30 bucks at the other card shop. That was the one who hosted the card show, but so I gotta add about 30 bucks there. And on Whatnot, I spent $18.18. So without the other card shop, I spent a total of $7,456.84. With the card shop, just add 30 bucks there to make it $86.84. And then, so I also spent an additional little bit on inventory also. So the PSA grading. So I have some PSA grading cards that I still have, some of them. All these ones are not the inventory I acquired through the grading. This is inventory I acquired through the grading. This is the Chad Johnson Auto Tucker Craft Green Prism out of 25 from Phoenix. It's a true base set, a color match also, Pop 2, and then Randy Moss Purple Cracked Ice, color match, PSA 10. Those three in particular I got from the grading, but I spent $412.69 on grading in particular. Later on, I spent money on the membership also, but I'll go in that later. And then $31.09 on eBay inventory. So spent a little bit on eBay, not much at all. Probably could end up getting that up for sure. Supplies, I spent quite a little bit there also. So I spent $65 at my local card shop for, it was thick top loaders, and then like 2 cases of thick top loaders, like 100 thick top loaders, and then 2 boxes, 2 row boxes. I also spent a $190 on Amazon for supplies and other necessities in order to operate. And then I spent $300.56 at Cardboard Gold directly through them for top loaders and card savers. Now I just buy my top loaders from eBay because it's the same price. The next is BCW Supplies. So they sell the 2 row boxes. I also got some one touches from them and potentially some other things. I spent $128.63 there. Top loaders, I also spent an additional $130.82. Team bags, I spent $25.69. And then here's a story here. Graded card sleeves, I spent $91.32. And you might be asking, why did you spend that much? Well, those are the ones I used the most of, for one. 2, there was a sale this eBay user was doing that I purchased them from, and he was actually doing like a really great sell. So I bought 2, and then that actually ended up getting lost in the process of getting to me, being delivered to me through the post office. So I had to order another one at full price because the deal the eBay person was doing was over, so I had to pay full price. So I bought 3 graded card sleeve like sets. There was like, so I bought 10 packages, and I had to spend $91.32 to get 1. But then finally, the 2 that I've originally bought popped up, so pretty nice there. And this Kareem Hunt is actually probably going to be auctioned off this Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. Every single Wednesday I do a Whatnot stream where I sell 300 to 400 auctions. I think that value is probably right around what it's going to go for, but probably might be worth a little more too. But so the total supplies expense I spent there was $932.02. So to go to the Fairfield Card Show, I had to house myself in order to be attending all 3 days. That was $362.16. I also paid for an Uber that I didn't include in this, that I'll include later on, but that cost me probably close to, I think I actually spent 2 Ubers, so that cost me probably close to like $40 or so, maybe like 30. So there was a card show that I did set up at, that being pretty much one of the first card shows that I actually ever, well, it was the first card show I ever set up at. So kind of spent a little more also here than I would have usually, but I spent $150 on 2 tables, which is pretty much the best price you're going to find in California, $75 per table. And then I spent $171.59 on 2 showcases. So that was card show expenses there. I paid for memberships. I had to spend $45 on Ryan's Cards LLC Discord server. Again, I don't remember if I actually said this one already, but there's a link down below for Ryan's Cards LLC Discord server if you want to join, and it's $15 a month, but I recommend it a lot. I literally get a good portion of my inventory from there, and you can sell on there also. But yeah, I'll make a future video on that in particular too. And the PSA subscription I bought was $199, which was very much worth it for me, because I use Card Ladder pretty much religiously now. And then equipment, I had some equipment expenses also, and I spent $20 on an external hard drive. It was 1 terabyte, so an amazing deal through Facebook Marketplace. And then a USB micro SD card reader, that was $2.97. So the total expenses here that I spent was $9,783.36. If you want to add, let's just give it a conservative $50 because I spent the card show and then the Uber rides. If you want to add another $50 there, just conservatively between those two that I just remembered, that would be $9,833.36. So, but that would be all of my expenses for the quarter there, quarter 3. Technically, there might be some that I, remember later periods, but definitely the good majority of my expenses there, which is a lot of money when you consider it, right? It's a lot of money to operate a business like this. Really cool Pop 1 None Higher Travis Etienne out of 35. Zamir White, hopefully somehow ages well. I know, cool Joe Burrow PSA 10. Probably just sell that at the Whatnot card show. And then, some Pokemon. Getting more and more into Pokemon as time goes on, hopefully. And let's go into revenues. So this is going to go a lot quicker here, revenue-wise. It's a lot less to go over, but definitely an important part of it as well. So at the card show, I haven't even said this in a video yet. At the card show, I ended up earning, so revenue-wise, it was $2,305 from the card show, and that is very, very good. I was actually hoping to, my goal before the card show, I will say this, I was hoping to spend quite a little bit and then hopefully making about $600 after what I spent. So after, revenues and expenses is having my revenues exceed the expenses by $600, which definitely beat my expectations there. So Whatnot sales, this is without the fees taken out and all that. So this is not revenue, but total Whatnot sales for quarter 3 was $10,296, and revenue wise, they take out fees and they take out taxes and shipping and a whole bunch of that. This also, I don't know if it includes taking out shipping expenses and all that. Might be something I get in contact with them with to see. But $7,798.03 was what it displayed to me as estimated revenue. So I'm guessing that's probably without shipping fees being taken out, but still an amazing number there. Quite a bit of money, and especially, I'll get into that later, but eBay sales, this is without the fees and all that taken out, same as whatnot. $1,080.14 there on the sales, so without fees and taxes taken out and shipping. So the total revenue that I got in was $685.74, which, for not posting much on eBay, if at all, technically there's I had 3 to 4 sales that have equated to this amount for the good majority. So pretty decent, definitely could be higher, but definitely not shabby for how I have actually had equated my time to it. And yes, so other revenue, I have made about $185, and that's through affiliate links, and on YouTube I earn ad revenue through YouTube there. And technically it might be a little more, it might be like $25 or less, or $25 or fewer there, depends on, I think I think it might be around $25 less. It just depends on how I looked at that. I don't remember if I looked through the October revenue also, but I'll make a video on that. That'll be probably the next video you guys see. It's my YouTube revenue. And trade nights, I spent $21 on the August trade night, and then the July trade night I spent $25. I earned $21, and then the July trade night I earned $25, so a total of $46 there. And then through Star Stock, which is they just started selling on eBay, so more and more stuff is kind of selling again on there. I also had quite a little bit of money on there, so definitely not the not the best thing to see these numbers after what I have into it, but $33.11 in the last 3 months has been paid out to me, and that means that the total that I have earned, talking revenue wise, is $11,052.85 there. So we have to, in order to get the number that I've made in the last 3 months, you have to subtract expenses. You don't actually get to you don't get a profit every single thing that your business comes in to. You have to spend money to make money, right? So the total profit would be $1,269.49. Technically, probably around, after actually subtracting that $50 or so, closer to $1,219.49 there. So in the profit still, which is really amazing, especially when considering a lot of different things. Like, I still have a lot of inventory. This is just some stuff you guys have seen. I don't even know if you guys have seen this. Clean. These are all potential grade candidates for me. I think you might have seen these, but even the school, potential grade candidate. So if these grade well, that's an added bonus there. Just a ton of really cool stuff, like 10, 15, 7, depending on the card. This is just, I think you guys have seen this, but like 40, that's a $50 card. These are, some of the coolest DPJ cards out there, in my own opinion. Just some slight here and there. And then a whole bunch of other inventory. I have a ton of Devontae Adams, a ton of Whatnot inventory also. I have like about 25 or 24 one touches, a whole bunch of boxes, which that'll also kind of in the future dictate the expenditure. I don't have to spend so much money on boxes once you acquire some boxes, right? But I also have a full 5-row of sleeves. I have a 4-row box of $1 cards. I have another 3-row box that's longer of $1 cards also, and then probably just a ton of just random cards also. Probably what I'll end up doing in the future here, probably, I'm guessing, maybe before Black Friday, maybe a Black Friday special type thing. I do a bulk lot, so I just end up putting a whole bunch of bulk, like just random stuff. Like there's a ton of stuff here like that. They call it like wholesale. They like, some people do wholesale nights, just grabbing a whole bunch of stuff. Like obviously, oh, these are cool. That's Saquon rookies. I just found myself some inventory. These ones, these like random QBs will sell. I'm gonna sell them all directly. Yao Ming could be for my future basketball inventory. But like Algier, Chris Evans, Javonte Williams, maybe Khalil Mack. Like just compiling this lot together. Just an example. Doing like 10 card lots, starting at like $2, and then just clearing through inventory that way, and maybe resetting for the 2025 fiscal year could be an idea there. Also kind of potentially getting a little bit more money for me to spend during that holiday season, especially because that's when people like to sell off some of their collections and all that. That's something I need to remember too. It's kind of like the best time for businesses is Q4. So how is my mindset going into it? My mindset's really positive outlooking right at the second. I have a ton of inventory I showed you. That's not even a fraction of it. I have some inventory coming in, so I'm set for the next 2 Whatnot shows I have planned for sure. And like good inventory too, not just like some slight. There's like 150 cards I just bought coming in. That's from Ryan's Cards LLC Discord server. So when I say stuff, I live by what I mean. I don't just say random stuff. But that's helped me a lot. That's coming in. They'll be nice. I have, this whole thing is full of Whatnot stuff. This is just random slight stuff. Probably look through it because I did find some Saquon rookies. People are liking those during the streams now. There's some random stuff in here that could be really nice for people too. I think a big thing for me is some of this stuff I don't have to spend money on each and every quarter. So like the top loaders kind of are getting more and more expensive because I'm putting every single card I run on Whatnot into new top loaders. Also, a lot of these cards in these team bags and all that, I put in new top loaders with a team bag, and then I had to pay the price tag sticker, the price gun on it. So there's more expenses than I usually would spend. And then graded card sleeves, I'm probably good until, I would guess, middle of next year at the earliest, probably even close to holiday season next year, potentially, because of how many card sleeves I now have. And then I just bought sleeves. That would be for the next quarter. Technically there is, and that's also another thing, I did really amazing on the Whatnot show I did this last week, and that would count for Q4. So Q4 for me has started off very hot. Probably one of the better, if not, I think it's like top 2 Whatnot shows I've ever done. Next being the Whatnot card show. So I'm gonna be preparing inventory like this Todd Gurley, this Micah Parsons, good candidates to sell during that Whatnot card show. Maybe this Joku auto, potentially. I don't know. I'm not too sure. That might I just sell to a repacker. Maybe like a Jordan Love, Prism Rookie. Just a ton of really cool stuff I can go through potentially on the card show. Kate Otten's doing really well. These are really cool cards, though. There's nothing like, you know, there's nothing. I mean, technically, there's some really, really, really cool stuff. But yeah, I even have, like I showed you the Juju. I have the Marquise Hollywood Brown out of 5 RPA, last on the print, color match. There's this Trey Tucker here out of 5, Nike swoosh, RPA. Yeah, I have, like, you know. Oh, also, here's another thing. Might be what I end off on. But the first 6 months, the first video you guys saw that you guys really loved, I'll even put a screenshot up here, my highest viewed video, that was a lot of my own personal collection that I was selling off to start. So I didn't have as much startup costs as, like, now I'm going to card shows, now I'm going to trade nights, now I'm buying from people directly online. Now I'm learning more and more about sourcing and good deals and all that, right? And I'm not like, I didn't like pull this card out, Sean Clifford, Don Russ rated rookie, and, you know, working on stuff I had acquired and accumulated throughout my time buying on whatnot through breaks and all that. So it was more of like a, you know, a revenue, nice little addition when I first started, right? It wasn't like I was spending a whole bunch of money. Just because I acquired those cards I sold over the last 4 years of me collecting. So when you're considering that also, it makes a lot of sense, especially when considering I didn't have to spend, I maybe spent $120 more, a little bit of a teaser for next video, or the next time I do one of these videos, but I spent maybe $120 on sleeves and inventory, and that'll last me until I go to the next card show I'm going to, and that will be very, very much one I'm hoping to get a lot of inventory from. I need to make sure I start to put away cards for the Whatnot card show. A ton of really cool stuff for that would be nice. And yeah, I mean, my mindset is grade more for sure. Grade more. Being okay with taking, you know, like if someone wants to liquidate, you know, if someone wants to buy off a whole bunch of stuff, that being okay with it, because you know, I'm knowing more and more how to buy. Like this stack right here, my guess is, well, that's $30 right there. Like this stack right here is maybe $200, decent gas probably. But yeah, I mean, there's like this card right here, Chad Ochocinco-Johnson. He's even gonna fight somebody. I forget who it is. It's who is the big old player? James Harrison, right? Yeah, James Harrison. Big old guy, Steelers legend. Like you're talking Juju Watkins, Chet Holmgren out of 25, rookie autograph. Like out of 99, Juju. Like I could run that on auction. You know, like this Derrick Henry. These two I might run on auction this week, potentially. I'd probably say Derrick Henry would be a good idea for the Whatnot card show. This one I'll probably sell this week. This is such a sick card. But yeah, I mean, like I have, you know, like just going through, right? Like Brian Urlacher PSA 10 Bowman Chrome rookie. I have gold Ochocinco, another one. This one is gonna go to a good home. I already know what I'm doing with that one. So shout out to him in the future. He'll know. He might know if he's watching this, but shout out to you. And yeah, so I appreciate very, very much for watching and being a part of the journey here. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. So definitely hoping that you guys have an amazing week, or an amazing 2 days until I see you guys again. And I hope you do decide to subscribe, especially if you are here this long. Appreciate it very much. So, and take it easy. Have a good one.